And here we are. Welcome to From Idea to Legacy, our virtual summit that's ready and open for everyone who wants to learn how to take their skills, their passion, their knowledge, and turn it into profits. So if you're coming from professional background, you are highly driven man or woman, and you want to start working as an online entrepreneur, this summit is for you. I welcome you, and I welcome today's speaker, Dr. Katie Nguyen, who is joining us and who will share her journey with us. Welcome, Katie. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me, Lenka.
I am so excited we connected. So for those of you who don't know, which is most of you, we are friends. Katie and I met in 2017 at this huge leadership workshop where we spent almost a year together working, learning, and growing and transforming. And I don't know. I don't know for you, Katie, how was that experience and what came out of that experience for you? How did you change your career since then? And well, why don't we start with your story and take us on a journey with you?
I will do so. Okay. So, my story was that I was raised in an immigrant family. My family is from Vietnam. So that might kind of set the stage for how my life came to be, which, if you have an immigrant background or you were raised in an environment where the work ethic was really strong. It was all about success and it was all about what success means, which is, make a lot of money, feel stable, feel secure, do all the things that we are told that we have to do in order to then be successful, right?
Yeah.
And it was, as a child, I will say that I had a very unstable childhood. It was an environment in which I learned early on that it wasn't safe to be me. It wasn't safe to feel the feelings that I was having. I was a very sensitive child growing up, but I think that the sensitivity didn't help me feel safe, because if I were to act on that sensitivity, it would cause a little bit of chaos in the home and my family. My parents were not in a happy marriage, and there was just a lot of chaos, and I was raised in an environment of fear. So that kind of sets the stage. And I learned that in order to get my father's love, my father was a typical Asian head of the family, didn't have a lot of emotional bandwidth to really love me like most children need to be loved.
Yeah.
So I learned that I had to be perfect. I learned that I had to do everything right. I learned that if I got straight A's, I could go to the high school dance. I learned that if I didn't say anything, I would be safe and he wouldn't yell.
Mm.
So early on as children, we are molded into our personality,
Yeah.
which helps us survive, which helps us get the love and validation that we need. So I felt deeply insecure, and I was extremely I felt extremely alone because I grew up in a very predominantly white environment. So I felt like everything about me was wrong. My looks, my culture, my race, my family, my dysfunction, that I was so ashamed of. So I tried to be something other than what I was. And I continued to do that in order to hide this deep sense of insecurity and not enoughness inside of me.
Right.
When I turned 18, I thought, this is it. I get to create the life that I want, the life that I see everybody having that I didn't feel like I could ever have. The love, the connection, all the things. And so I did what most people do. We chase our goals and we chase our dreams. And
Yeah.
I went to university. I went to UCLA. I graduated with honors. I went on to go to medical school. And it wasn't that I didn't want to be a doctor. It was practical because I was smart. I knew what to do. I was good at biology and science, and I enjoyed it. Um, and I did that. And then what was the next thing? Okay, get the six-figure job. What was the next thing? Then acquire all the material things and the friendships and all of the things that would make me feel good enough about myself. But what happened was the more I did, the more I achieved, the wider that gap between who I thought that I was and who people saw me as got bigger. And
Mhm.
then I lived in a sense, in a reality of like imposter syndrome and fraud. Oh my God, nobody should really can know who I am, because if they do, then then I'm just, then it's all going to be blown to shreds.
Mhm.
And I thought I was confident. I thought I was confident. And what I really was I was in control
Mhm.
of my life. And I got a real wake up call when the universe, God, spirit decided to take all those well manicured pieces away.
Wow.
My job, which I thought was secure, I was hanging on to only because I had no sense of love within myself that
Mhm.
I didn't even realize. And when all of it fell apart, I realized that there was nothing there. There was nothing there to sustain me. And that was like the darkest place in my life, where I felt like I didn't even know who I was. I was living a life that somebody else told me to live. And I had no sense of value within myself. It was all manicured. It was all from the outside. So when your worth is built from the outside, it's easily taken away.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I felt so much pain, and I really just had to surrender my ways. And I surrendered, and I had my spiritual awakening. And in that spiritual awakening, I realized that I'm here to be used.
Mm.
And in the process of just continuing my own healing and self mastery, I found my purpose and calling. I believe our mess is our message.
Yeah.
And I have really leaned into just doing everything I can to become the woman to give what I'm here to give, which is to help women heal in the same fashion that I healed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I'm very sure it did not come to you overnight. Like it was not like one day you woke up in the morning and you knew that, oh, I need to maybe step back from my MD career and now I'm going to become a coach, right? How did that happen? How did that transition come to you? Like what happened there?
Well, it definitely was a very long journey.
Mhm.
And I believe that you just got to take one step at a time.
Yeah.
And it was really my desire and my deep wanting to heal, because
Mhm.
the pain was so bad that I didn't want to feel that anymore. So I just kept following. I was just present to what was being presented in front of me. Opportunities. I think that we are always guided if we want something. And if we're present, we we see the opportunity, this opportunity, they all come, and you just have to answer the call. And so my purpose wasn't something I was looking for. I think a lot of women, men are out there looking for this purpose. Like, I got to join this course or read this book to find my purpose. Your purpose is already inside of you.
Yes.
It's how are you living your life that you're able to then recognize it. You can recognize your purpose.
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah. And I
It's
think a lot of us avoid going there
mm-hmm.
because your purpose is really in that place that you're afraid to go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like you said, our mess is our message, right? That's where it comes from. And so would you say that transition, was it easy for you or was it difficult? How would you define that?
From like doctor to coach.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't difficult. Two ways: the purpose, the passion, the conviction has always been there.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that our human self has to catch up with our soul self, and that's the journey, right? That's where it's hard. And the transition doesn't happen overnight. It's been evolving over the last several years when I decided that this is what I wanted to pursue.
Mm-hmm.
And as you change, that changes. And I would say that, like, energetically, my commitment to making the leap, the actual three-dimensional leap from doctor to healer, coach, teacher, is so strong now,
Mm-hmm.
where it wasn't that strong at the beginning of 2020. So 2020 was a hugely transformative year in helping me realize just what I'm made of. I
Mm-hmm.
went through some deep, painful relationship stuff, which
Wow.
I think relationships will bring most perfectionistic, controlling, ambitious women to their knees.
Yeah.
And it taught me so much about who I am. And therefore, I'm ready to energetically fully commit. And that, so that transition feels much more stronger than it's ever been before.
Hmm. So my next question for you would be what it took from you, but I hear you say it over and over again, is the commitment, right? It's like fully stepping into it and owning it and going for it. So would you add anything to it? What else did it take from you?
I will add it because I think that there's power in the and, right? And I think that we're conditioned to be either this or that. And if you're not this, you're not that. And that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
And there were times when I wasn't all in. There were times where I wasn't fully committed. You're going to feel the fear. You're going to have times where you don't want to keep going. And that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You get to rest. It doesn't have to be 100%. Just show up. Just do the best that you can. I think that we believe that perfection is our best. And perfection is this 100, 1000% like ideal. But if you do the best that you can wherever you're at, that's enough. And doing your best will always show you what you're made of. And that's what I did. I committed to doing my best. I didn't commit to being perfect. I committed just to doing the best that I could with whatever fear I was dealing with whatever belief that was running me at the time. I just did my best.
Beautiful,
That's what.
Katie. And it's so amazing to watch you grow and watch you shine over those past 4 years that I've known you. It's wow. It's really like watching a little child grow up. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to see how you are opening up like a beautiful flower. And it's just makes me so happy because you are going places and you have so much to give to people. So I cannot wait to watch you like run those programs and teach those women and see their results, because it's this work, this coaching work is all about what we can do for others, right? How what results our clients have and how that affects other people's lives, their families, their friends, their professional lives and all that. So it's beautiful to have friends like you, and I'm so happy that we are connected. My last question for you is, what advice would you give to someone who is just getting started, someone who feels that calling but maybe they are not clear yet on what it's going to look like or how it's going to happen? What would be your advice for those people?
So I think my first advice is, let go of the how.
Mm-hmm.
When we are too focused on the how, we won't even get started,
Mm-hmm.
because then we're trying to connect all the dots and we don't even know the dots, because when we come from our mind, we can only create the past, because that's all we know is what is our experience from the past. What if you let go of your knowing and allowed yourself to not know? Because when you let yourself not know, what gets created is way more than you can imagine, and it's not going to be a replica of the past. So let go of the how and connect with the what you desire, the feeling of what you want, what you're working towards, because every goal that we have is really just trying to get us some feeling. So what is that feeling? Feeling of freedom, love, connection. What is it that you want? So connect with that and let go of the how, and just take it one step at a time. Commit to showing up in the best that you can. Reach out for help. You're not meant to do it alone, but just get
Absolutely.
started. Just take the step.
Absolutely. Even us coaches, we have mentors and we have our coaches. So if you guys want to get somewhere, connect with Katie or connect with anyone on this show you resonate with, and just go for it. Katie, I know you have a gift that will help the audience to connect with you. So what is it?
Yes, so one of the things I would say is always stay connected to what your superpower is. Don't do things what in terms of what you think you should be doing. And so when it came to my free gift, I've done all the gifts, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I think this time I really just want to offer your audience, your listeners, a free call with me,
Mm-hmm.
where we get to connect and I get to help bring some light and clarity to what your next steps will be. What is it that's holding you back? Because oftentimes we don't see our blind spots. We don't know what's keeping us stuck. And so it's very valuable to have someone to help us find the answers within ourselves, because the answers are within you. But when you're stuck in like the how and the future, you're not able to see it. And so that's kind of my zone of genius, is really helping you find that answer within yourself. So I'm offering a free coaching call to really, I call it a self-love activation call. It's really going to get you feeling so good, so empowered, and really pulling you forward out of the fear, and really helping you take those steps that you need to really start your journey wherever you're at.
Phenomenal. Time is the most important commodity we have. And so I thank you, Katie, on behalf of our audience, that you are so generous with it. You are offering your time and your support to people who need it. I thank you for your time today on our show with us. I wish you most amazing success. You can't even imagine. And is there anything, any last thoughts that you would like to share with our audience?
I mean, I would just like to thank you, Lenka, for just giving us the space. And I really reflect all of what you gave me back to you, because you are fantastic. And I see all the growth that you are stepping into and really owning your gifts. So that's beautiful. And I
Thanks.
would just say, lastly, your relationship with yourself is the most important thing you will ever have. And you can do all the strategies and buy all the scripts and do all the steps. If your relationship with yourself isn't grounded on a foundation of compassion and grace and love, and worth, then a lot of what you're doing won't be sustainable. And so that's what I teach. I teach you really how to love yourself in a way that we haven't been taught.
Mhm.
Self-love in the world and in our societies, I want to demystify that. That's really my deepest passion, is to help you really love yourself and use that sense of worth and knowing who you are and your authenticity, which is your magic, to really call in everything you want in your life. That is the secret to having what you want in your life.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I will leave it with that. Ladies and gentlemen, this was fantastic. Tomorrow we are going to learn how to develop and how to use our emotional intelligence. So stay tuned, come back, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day.